All right, guys, so now we're on my favorite topic. I can't wait to go deep into advertising with you because advertising is what is going to accelerate and grow you fast as an artist. So I'm gonna go and take you guys right into it. And after this lesson, you're gonna have a good understanding of advertising and your role as an advertiser. So let's get ready and let's jump right into it right now. All right, so as I mentioned before, advertising is one of the most important topics as a music marketer because that's how you're gonna get attention and that's how you're gonna get the most visibility for your music. So I want you to think of advertising as an accelerant. So advertising speeds up the process for content. So why do you want to do advertising as an artist? Well, advertising is the #1 way to grow. It's the one place in business that you'd have the highest rate of return. For example, for every dollar that you put in, you're putting your message or your music in front of 10 times, 20 times the amount of people. So if you have an offer with that piece of content, now instead of that content reaching a small percentage, you're now reaching a super wide audience. So for businesses, the #1 way to 10x their growth and 10x their return on investment is to put it into advertising. Not stocks, not bonds, not Bitcoin, into advertising. And you want to advertise also because organic is slow and there's no guarantee that your post or your content is going to get picked up by the algorithm. So going the organic route, you'll have a very slow growth. And with advertising, you can reach 1,000 times more people for a fraction of what you think it costs. And you can run ads when you're sleeping. So while you're sleeping, the machine is still going for you. So that's an amazing thing. So you can potentially make money and also grow as an artist while you're sleeping. And it's also scalable because if something is working, all you have to do is put a little bit more money into it to reach a lot more people. So I do want to say, since advertising is an accelerant, you only want to put money into content that is performing well. Because if it's not performing well, then you're gonna accelerate something that's bad. You want to focus on accelerating the best performing content. So that brings me to this. Don't advertise without an offer. If you do not have an offer, do not advertise. For example, if you're a musician and you're just advertising to get views, you're just spending money. What you really want to do is you want to advertise with an offer and then collect that person's information so you can market them or remarket them again. So a really quick switch is instead of just advertising for views, in the caption, you can direct someone somewhere. So you can do a call to action, just says, hey, click the link in bio to download or purchase my music. Even if you're just advertising for views, it's still good to have a call to action in the bio. This way you can capture a lot more of those people who watches your video or have the ads linking out to a place where they can purchase or download your music. So you don't want to advertise without an offer. Now there's so many different types of advertising and I'm gonna go through a couple of them. You have the physical ads, which is the ones on billboards. So you're driving down a highway, you see billboards. So anything where it's physically placed. You also have search engine marketing. It's similar to SEO, but SEO is more organic. Search engine marketing is pay-per-click. So you're paying to get your ad placed on the first page of Google. You also have social media marketing, which is basically putting ads on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, any other social media platforms. Then you have ad placements, and these are ads on websites, on blogs, on radios, on podcasts, on Spotify. So if you're listening to music on Spotify and then an ad pops up, or in apps. So these are just a few different types of advertising. Now, when it comes to advertising, we're gonna be advertising mostly through Facebook. So Facebook Business Manager. And there's 3 levels. You have the campaign level, which has the objective of that campaign. You also have the ad set level, which is the audience and placements. You also have the advert, which is the format, the media, the page, and text. So I want to go into this a little bit more. So there is 3 levels, and I want you to think of each level as a container. The campaign level contains the ad set and ads. The ad set level contains the ads. So on the campaign level, each campaign responds to a single advertising objective, like driving website traffic. On the ad set level, you can set a budget and a schedule for each of your ad set and organize each set by audience segment. For example, people who lives near your store. On the ad level, it's basically where you actually put the content, which could be text, videos, or carousels. Now I want to go over budget optimization a bit. So on the left column, this is how we advertisers used to do it all the time. We would use the ad set level to control our budget. So if we had $30, we would have put $10 on each ad set, assuming we had 3 ad sets. What happens is each ad set will spend the entire $10, and based on that $10, each ad set will produce a different result. So putting the budget on the ad set level gives you a little bit more control. So when you put the budget on the campaign level, it divides the $30 and allocates the budget to whichever ad set is performing the best. So in each ad set, you can have the ad, which the ad is the image, video, or carousel. So each ad set can have multiple images, multiple videos, and multiple carousels. So if you put $10 in ad set 1, which contain 3 different ads, it's going to divide that $10 into 3 sections and optimize based off whichever one's performing the best. Now by putting all the budget on the campaign level, it's doing that to the ad set and also to the ads inside the ad sets. So I'm gonna show you guys this in a lot more details later on in this lesson, but I just wanted to show you guys campaign budget optimization. By putting the budget on the ad set level, you have a lot more control, but it only optimizes the ads that are within that ad set. But if you put the budget on the campaign level, it allocates the budget based off which ad set is performing the best. So one allocates the budget to whichever ad is performing the best, and the other one allocates the budget to which other ad set is performing the best. So one optimized based on the ads and one optimized based on the ad set. So I want to go over how Facebook makes money. So 98% of Facebook's profits and revenues comes from advertising. So advertisers is Facebook's customers. This is how it works. Say you had 2 advertisers. Both advertisers are advertising to the same audience. Let's assume that every click they get, it costs them $1. So advertiser A and advertiser B is advertising to the same 100 people. So advertiser A gets 2 clicks. 2 clicks out of 100 people, that gives him a 2% click-through rate, which means that he spent $2. Advertiser B got 5 clicks, which gave him a 5% click-through rate, and he spent $5. So Facebook is obviously going to prefer advertiser B because Facebook made $5 from advertiser B versus $2 from advertiser A. That means Facebook will show advertisers B's content or ads over advertiser A. So advertiser B will get a lot more reach than advertiser A because advertiser B has a higher click-through rate. And as a result, Facebook will reward advertiser B with a cheaper cost per click. So now instead of paying $1 per click, advertiser B is only going to be charged 75 cents per click. Why? Because even if Facebook got 75 cents per click for 5 clicks, they're still making more money than advertiser A. And because advertiser A has such a low click-through rate, Facebook is gonna make it a lot more expensive for advertiser A to advertise. So click-through rate is one of the most important metrics for you guys to look at when you are advertising. And I want to show you guys this because as an independent artist, your goal should be to master music marketing. You have to learn how to get attention, keep attention, and then convert the attention into fans or money. So if we go back to the music funnel, it's discovery, consideration, sell. So discovery is going to be the advertising phase, which is why this is so important. Most artists struggle with getting discovered, and that's because they do not advertise. So by mastering advertising and understanding the metrics, you're able to optimize your ads and your ad sets to get you the best results and get you the most visibility. Once we start running ads, we're gonna be capturing people's information and getting them to consider us more, and then we're gonna be selling them more content, more music, or getting them to become a fan. So I'm gonna show you guys how to use the Facebook Ads Manager to run ads for your music. And I know a lot of people boost their posts, but you do not want to boost your posts, because by boosting your posts, you do not have the targeting capabilities that you do in the Facebook Ads Manager. So I'm gonna walk you through this, and I'm gonna go and share my screen with you right now. All right guys, so I'm gonna show you guys how to create an ad. So the first thing you need to do is you need to go to create, and then from there you have to choose an objective. So for our purpose as a music marketer, the 4 we're going to pay attention to is traffic, engagement, video views, and conversions. So let's say conversions, so I can show you guys how to do this. Then you press continue. In the conversion section, this is where you can do campaign budget optimization, which is putting the budget on the campaign level. And by putting on the campaign level, it will be divided between all ad sets. So if you're starting out and you're new to advertising, I would put this on. For more advanced people, you can put the budget on the ad set level. So let me turn this off and show you what I mean. If you go to ad set, you have the option to set your budget here. If you put the budget on the ad set level, this means that the budget will be divided between all the ads in that ad set. So for our purpose, let's just keep it on the campaign level. So you have the option to do daily or lifetime. If you have a fixed budget, you can do lifetime, but I always recommend just doing daily, and you can start off with something as small as $5. But if you do daily, you have to monitor. If you don't monitor, it's just gonna keep running. So if you don't come back in and monitor it and then turn it off, it's just gonna keep running. So first thing you wanna do is you wanna name your campaign. So the name of your campaign, it should be the objectives. So for you guys, it'll probably be the name of your song. So let's just say for me, I'm gonna name it conversions, since it's a conversions campaign. And let's say I want to market my song, Remember. So conversions, Remember. So next, I'm just gonna go to the next. I'm just gonna click next or click over here. So the ad set name, we're gonna go back to that later. And that's because you wanna name the ad set you're targeting. So when you do have a custom audience, and I'm gonna show you guys how to create a custom audience in the next video, but when you do have a custom audience, this is where you go. You can choose your custom audience. So anyone who's ever went on your Facebook page, or who's ever visited your website, or who've watched more than 50% of your video, they all come here. There's also the lookalike and the custom audience. I'm gonna show you guys all that in the next video. And there's also saved audiences. You can create an audience and then press save this audience, and then it saves the audience, and you can go back and click it whenever you want. But for now, we're gonna build an audience. But this is where you're able to change your location. So you can pick a location. You can literally pick anywhere in the world. So if you put an address, you can go as low as 1 mile. So if you want to run ads locally, so you're selling a ticket to a show and it's for everyone who's in that area, you can put an address and then select it to be 1 mile. You can also increase the radius, 50 miles. All right, so you also have the age that you can change the age, you can change the gender, and this is where you add the detailed targeting. So let's say techno. The size of techno is 115 million. You can even go a little further by clicking suggestion. By clicking suggestions, it suggests you a bunch of other stuff. So I always recommend for music marketing to choose an artist. So an artist in my space would be Carl Cox. So I choose Carl Cox, and this will target all the people interested in Carl Cox in my area. You can even narrow it down or exclude. So if I want to say Carl Cox and David Guetta. So this means that they have to like Carl Cox and David Guetta. That's because I clicked narrow. However, if you don't click narrow and you just put it underneath, that means Carl Cox or David Guetta. So it's just an and or difference. One is they have to like one and other. The other is you have to like one or the other. I always recommend narrowing, and you can also exclude. So you also have auto placement or manual placement. Now, manual placement allows you to select where you want everything to be. You can post on Instagram stories, Facebook stories. You can post on Instagram feed, Facebook feed. Anyways, if you're new, I would just leave it as auto placement. Facebook has developed so well at this point that you can literally just leave it as auto placement, and it literally just takes care of everything for you. But if you're more advanced, you can pick manual placement and select exactly where you want to show. A lot of marketers say you should only show on the news feed, but if you do auto placement, it tends to put it on the news feed anyways. It tests out every single placement, and where it gets the most return is where they put the budget, which is normally the feeds. So again, you can do it manually, or you can just let Facebook decide where to put it. So the reason I saved the name for later is because I want to name the ad set my target. So I named the ad set my targeting. This way, when I look back at it, I can see it. Now, this is also where you select your pixel. So you can see that I have my artlit pixel and my unseen pixel. So I select my pixel here. And this is where you choose what you want to optimize for. So if you choose leads or purchase, it will optimize for that. So in order to do this, you have to set up a custom conversions. I'm going to show you guys how to do that in the next video, but you have to set up a custom conversions. But for now, I'm just going to put view content. So now if you select manual, you can choose if you want to show it on mobile or desktop. But if you select automatic, you can't choose. Now in the ad level, this is where you put the content. So you can select the page. So I want to put it on my unseen page and both the Facebook and Instagram page. And you have the option to create a new ad or use an existing ad. So now you can select the ad from your Facebook. If you created a post on your Facebook, you can select the post from your Facebook. If you created a post on your Instagram, you can select a post from your Instagram page. So this is everything that I posted on my feed. If I wanted to run ads to any of these, I could just click it, and now I'm able to run ads to these. Now this is when I said you should always have a call to action. Right here, you can add a button that says listen now, and then put the link to your download gate. So when they click on this, they can listen to your song and then download the song. So for me, I would go to my download gate, I would copy the link, and then I would go back to my ad, and then I put the link there. And then you can see that now I have a button on my ad, and I can preview all my ads. So now every time someone sees my post and they click it, they're going to be taken to where they can download my track or listen to my track, and I can collect their information. So then I would just name this the post. So the post would be biotech, and that's it. So you just press publish, and then it will go into review. And if you're new at running ads, it may take some time to get approved, but once it's approved, it will run, and you just have to monitor the results. So I wanted to take you guys through this and show you how to actually create an ad. But in the next video, I'm gonna go into a lot more details and show you guys how you can make one of these go viral, make your music go viral. So I hope you guys are excited for that, and I'm going to show you that in the next video. So I'll see you guys over there. Hey guys, so in this lesson, I want to show you how to make your music go viral. And when I mean go viral, I'm talking about getting a lot of likes and a lot of shares. And the way we're going to do this is through advertising. So you can see here, I got 1,000 likes, 30 comments, and almost 300 shares. The shares is organic reach. So every time someone shares my post, it goes in front of their audience as well. So this is really good. So the way to do this is you have to first find something that has a viral element. So for me, I found this video on YouTube that is of Mickey Mouse, and everyone loves Mickey Mouse. It went well with my music video and everything. So it was a perfect fit for what I was looking for. I also found this other video that I found on YouTube as well, and it has almost 500 likes and almost 100 shares and 20 comments. This is really good because it shows that people really like the video because they're sharing it, and it gets me a lot more organic reach. So if we go back to the content creation section, all I did was find videos, edit it, and put my music behind it. So I put my music behind this video, and I also put my music behind this video. And you might be wondering, can you even use this video in your ads? And let me show you how I do that. So when you go to YouTube, there is a filter button right on the left side. So you type in your search, you can click filter, and then when you click filter, you go to Creative Commons. So Creative Commons means that the creator is giving you rights to use their video. So this takes some research, it takes some time, it takes some time to actually find good videos. But if you put in the time, you can come up with really dope content. So all I did was I go to YouTube, I type in the search box, anything. Could be dance, it could be mountings, it could be literally anything. I typed in techno, and then I click Creative Commons. You can also filter by view count. So if you want to see the video that has the most views, which is usually a good signal, because that means people like the video. So all you have to do is find the video. You can filter by dates, types, duration, features, and also sort. So you just click Creative Commons, and then you see what other people are viewing. So this might be something that I'd want to use. It's of a guy performing on a synthesizer. So this is definitely something that I would most likely use in my content, right? And I have permission to use it because it's Creative Commons. So that's how I've been finding a lot of my content. I just do some search, I do research. You can see here I typed in shuffle, has a bunch of videos of girls shuffling. This is again something perfect for my music, and again, they're giving me the rights to use it. So say you were to find a really dope video, but you don't necessarily have the permission to use it. So you can still use that content, just give the creator credit. Everyone wants more exposure. So if you're giving the creator credit when you're running ads, then that is really good because the creator is going to get exposure. So that's really all you have to do when it comes to finding viral content. You just need to find the content, create it, put your music behind it, and then you can use it in your advertising. If you find something that's really dope, but you don't really have permission to use it, you can still use it. Just give the creator credit. And that's exactly what I did for my 2 videos that I ran a little bit of advertising on and got a lot of engagement. So another tool that I showed you guys earlier was you can use Viral Spy. Viral Spy helps you find content that's very popular on other people's accounts. It sorts everything by the amount of likes or views that a piece of content has based on a person's channel. So for example, again, I'll go to Techno with Us, and it's gonna pull up all their best performing content. it's gonna sort everything by most viral. And this is a really awesome tool that you can use to find the perfect content. And all you have to do is put your music behind it. A lot of these theme pages take these content from other people's account anyway, so you're probably not going to be able to provide the necessary credit that you want. But either way, you could just use these content and then post your music behind it. So look, there's tons of videos here. And when you do find the right piece of content, all you have to do is click download. Then you can download it, put your music behind it, then you can start running ads to it. And since these already have social proof on them, you can kind of guarantee that they will get you a lot of likes and a lot of shares. And then you just keep doing that, keep testing different content, and that's how you get your music to go viral. Now, I'm gonna actually show you how to do it in Ads Manager. But before we do that, I need to show you how to actually set up everything. Because of the iOS 14 release, you have to now have custom conversions. So there's really two ways you could do this. You can create an ad, and if you don't want to be bothered with all the installing the pixels and all of that, and you just want to skip the pixel phase, you can. All you have to do is click traffic, and by clicking traffic, you're still getting the pixel data, but you're not tracking conversions. You're not going to be able to retarget people based off an action that they've taken. You're only going to be able to target people and put an actual ad in front of them. So by clicking traffic, you're just saying to Facebook, hey, drive as much people to my content or to this link as possible. By clicking conversions, you're saying, hey, Facebook, find the people who are more likely to take this action. So again, if you don't want to be bothered with the conversions and installing pixels and aggregated event measurements, you could do traffic. But for viral content purposes, you want to focus on engagement and video views. So we're going to click video views. And in video views, again, you're going to want to name it. You're going to want to decide if you want to do campaign budget optimization. If you're new, I highly recommend this. On the ad set level, you can also put your budget. This just gives you a little bit more control. And then when it comes to targeting, I always recommend targeting worldwide. And when you target worldwide, you do this because you get a really cheap cost per click. So here's the strategy behind this. You target worldwide. Once you have a bunch of data worldwide, a bunch of likes, comments, and shares, then you can create a different ad and target locally. So now when you put your ad in front of people in the local market, they're gonna see a lot of social proof on your post already. They're gonna most likely pay attention to your post. And the reason you wanna do that is because some countries don't engage with content as others. So for example, in the US is not gonna be engaging with content as much as somewhere like India. People in India will engage with content a lot more than people in the US. So what you do is you get as much social proof and engagement from countries worldwide, and then you narrow it down to your city. This will, again, give you social proof and make people pay attention to you more, which is exactly what you want. So we're gonna target worldwide. We're gonna keep everything broad, The only thing we're gonna change is we're gonna put put any artist in your genre. So all you do is just put an artist. So I'm gonna put Justin Bieber, and now this is gonna target everyone worldwide who likes Justin Bieber. Put my content in front of all of them. Since it's a video view, I'm gonna change it to manual placement and only put it on the feed. So I'm gonna take off everything else and just leave it on Facebook feed. And the reason we're doing Facebook is because when we are targeting and running ads to Facebook, we're also pixeling people. So we're gonna put our video on the Facebook feed, and then we're just gonna press next. And then this is where you create the ad. So you select the page that you want to put it on. So I'm gonna put it on my unseen page. So you have a choice of either creating an ad or using existing ad. I always recommend using an existing ad for this kind of data, because when you use an existing ad and to do that, you have to manually come and post the video on your Facebook page first. So once you post the video on your Facebook page and start running ads to it, you're gonna keep all the data on that video on your Facebook page. If you just create the ad, once you stop the ad, you're not gonna be able to see that data on your physical Facebook page. So you post it on your Facebook page first, and then you go to your ads manager and click use existing posts. And then you just select the post. You can select a post from your Facebook or Instagram page, but for this purpose, we're gonna select a post from our Facebook page. And I'm just gonna show you guys the one that I did so I don't have to recreate it. So in this post, as you see, I am using an existing post. That's because I posted it on my Facebook page so I can keep the data. And then I didn't add a button because I just wanted to get more engagement and capture pixel data. But if you guys wanted to also push your download gate, you can just add a button and then you can put the link to the download gate. And since it's a viral video, you're gonna get a lot of shares and a lot of people going to your download gate. As you see, because I didn't put a button the first time, I'm no longer able to add a button at a later date. So you have to make the decision in the beginning. If you're gonna want to use this piece of content to drive traffic to your button, you have to put the button before you run the ad. If you put it after you run the ad, it's not gonna let you go back and change it. So you have to make a decision in the beginning if you want to send them anywhere. What I did is I put the link in the description, but it's not as effective if you put a button. Only reason I didn't put a button, again, is because I wanted more engagement on the videos rather than people thinking that it's an ad. And then that's it. Once you run that, you just monitor the data. What you really want to look at when you are running video view campaigns is you go to column, you go to video engagement. And what you want to really look at, see, it shows you all the data. So it shows you that 2,500 people has watched 50% of my videos. 550 people has watched 100% of my video. These are hot audience. These are people who would most likely purchase my song. Anyone who watches over 75% are very hot. If they watch around 50%, they're warm. Your goal is to get as many people as hot as possible. So what you really want to look at when you're doing this, you want to look at your cost per through play. If the lower your cost per through play, the better. So as you see here, I got a 0.003 cents. So way less than a penny for a through play. And that's really, really good. You can see my 2-second views. I got less than, like way less than 1 penny. But yeah, the data you want to look at when it comes to running video view campaigns and making your video go viral is cost per through play, the amount of through plays, and the amount of people who watched over 50%. And the reason why you want to pay attention to those numbers is because you're gonna want to retarget those people. You can see I created a custom audience to retarget everyone who watched over 15 seconds of my video, which is 1 through play. And that's about 30,000 people that I could retarget. This is how you create a retargeting audience. You go to create a custom audience, you go to videos, you click next, and then you get to select what percentage or what video views range you want to retarget. So for me, I usually go after the through plays or anyone who watched over 50%. So say you click 50%, you could pick 365 days, and then you choose the video. So again, you go and you choose the video from the accounts that you want to retarget. And then from there, you press create audience. Now, once you have a custom audience that has a lot of data already, you're gonna wanna create a lookalike. And when you create a lookalike, the lower the number, the more like that audience Facebook is gonna find. So the wider the number, the less likely that person is to the original audience. So the lower you keep this, the more like that person you are gonna retarget. And then you just select the source, and then you got to find the custom audience that you wanna create a lookalike for. So for me, 15 seconds or more. From there, you select the location, then you select the audience size, and then you create custom audience. Then from there, you can run ads to a custom audience. And I'll show you that right now. So you create an ad. Then in the ad set level, when you go to choose the targeting, you just come here and then you get to choose your custom audience. So every single person who watched over 15 seconds of my video, I can retarget. And if you created a lookalike audience, this is where your lookalike audience is going to be as well. See, a 1% lookalike. So when you are creating custom audiences, you want to keep your targeting as broad as possible. If you have any detailed targeting in here, make sure you remove it, because when you're retargeting, you're only showing your ads to people who has already seen your video. So there's a select number of people and you don't want to narrow it even further. So take off all your targeting, take off all your locations, remove literally everything. Make your age as broad as possible when you are retargeting. And that's pretty much it when it comes to making your videos go viral. You want to first find the viral content that you want. You put your music behind it. Then you post it on your Facebook page. Once you post it on your Facebook page, you go over to the ads manager, you create the campaign, and in the campaign section, you click video views. And then from there, you go over to your detailed targeting. In your detailed targeting section, this is where you're going to set your targeting. You're gonna put it as worldwide because you want to get as much engagement as possible before narrowing it down. So you go to worldwide, and then from there you go to put it on the news feed only on Facebook. And then when you go to create the ad, you have to use existing posts and find the content on Facebook. So once you find the content on Facebook, you have to decide if you want to add a button or not at that moment. And then once you do decide, you just run the campaign. And since the video you are going to use has a lot of social proof already, it should perform well and it should get a lot of shares. And again, the reason you want to do video views is because you're going to be able to retarget everyone who watches your video. And everyone who watches your video, you can then put another ad in front of them that says, hey, purchase my song or download the song. And that's pretty much it. That's how you find viral content and you run ad campaigns to the viral content on your Facebook page. And that's how you get one of your songs to go viral. Once your song has that viral social proof on it, then it's going to be more easier for you to target a specific location and drive traffic to that actual song. Hey guys, so in this lesson, I want to show you guys how to build a solid foundation and a solid fan base as an artist, because the key to growing as an artist is really the size of your fan base. So the key to your explosion as an artist is to build a fan base one person at a time until you hit a tipping point. There's going to be a point in time when you get to a certain level and then you'd reach a tipping point, which means that after this point, this is when your growth starts to spike and become a lot more organic. So the way I believe that you do this is through purchases and download. In the world of sales, the value comes after the purchase. So you don't really exchange value with someone or become valuable to someone until you have some sort of exchange with them. So you provide the music, they either purchase or download. So your goal should be to get as much purchases and downloads as possible, because people will remember you once they invest in you. Once you do get all these purchases and download, you're going to be collecting their information. So another way to stay top of mind with your fan base is to do email marketing. Even if they do not open your email, your name still pops up in their inbox. So the more they see your name, the better it is for you, because the more they see your name, the more they'll remember you. And email is one of the best places to do this, because you can reach out to people as many times as you want. So what you want to do is build out an email sequence that will consistently have your name pop up in their inbox. The more often people see your name, the more you become a person of influence. So that brings me to the celebrity effect. And the celebrity effect is basically when people see you so often, they start to associate you as someone of influence. So basically the key is frequency. The more people see you, the more they begin to associate you as a person of influence. And there's a few different ways you can have this kind of frequency. There's post frequency. This is exactly what theme pages do. They post multiple times a day. And if you notice, big influencers, they're also posting multiple times a day, because the more people see you, the more they remember you and associate with you and want to engage with you. The second way is ad frequency. And this is how you're able to put yourself in front of people a lot more frequent. And that's by using advertising. And then there's association. So you can collaborate or share content with other people of influence, and this in turn will build your influence. And a great example of this is podcasts. A lot of podcasts reach out to experts or people of influences and get them on their show. So by bringing people on their show, one, they get borrowed influence, so they're getting a lot of traffic from that person. And two, now they have this person's name on their podcast that they can go around and get other people to collaborate with them. So if you have any photos or anything with people of influence, you can use that to post on your social media channels, so people will start to see you as someone who's associated with people of influence. And this in turn will build your influence. And as musicians, you want to collaborate with as many people as possible. So always try to reach up. So frequency is one of the most important things when it comes to building your influence or having that celebrity effect. Now, the best way to do this with advertising is by retargeting. When you retarget, you're putting yourself in front of someone over and over and over again. You want to put yourself in front of people by retargeting them. And this is by far the cheapest and easiest way. So all you have to do is really create a custom audience, and then you can retarget people based off what kind of action they've taken. So if they watched 50% of your video, or if they watched 3 seconds of your video, if they engaged with any of your posts, if they visited your website, there's tons of different ways. And all you have to do is create a custom audience. And when you go to create a custom audience, the ones that you'd want to pay the most attention to is your website, customer list, videos, Instagram accounts, and Facebook page. And the reason custom audiences are so powerful is also because they have the cheapest cost per conversion. And this basically means that when someone sees your ad the second, third, or fourth time, the chances of them converting is a lot higher, because now they've seen you a couple of times and now they're starting to associate you as someone of influence. It's also the best way to get known and build a fan base of supporters because of being seen more frequently. People normally don't take action until they see you about 8 to 15 times. So they have to see your post or content at least 8 to 16 times to take an action. So you want to be putting yourself in front of people a lot more. And if you look here, it's actually super cheap to retarget people. You have a very high click-through rate, you have a very low cost per result, and it's not that expensive. For less than $40, I got 1,200 people to take action on one of my content. But the one thing that I do want to give you guys a heads up on is frequency. Try to keep your frequency under 3 per ad set. So once it starts to go above 3, then it's getting a little bit too much. Now I'm going to show you guys how to create a custom audience real quick. This is going to be a review, but I'm going to show you guys how to create a custom audience right now. All right, so just as a refresher on how to create a custom audience, you go to the tabs on the left, the 9 dots, you click audiences, and then in audiences, you have to click create audience. Then you click create custom audience. And from there, you get to choose which type of source you want to create the custom audience from. I recommend creating a custom audience for your Instagram account, for your Facebook page, for your email list. Your email list may need to be bigger than 1,000 subscribers in order to actually use this effectively. And if you have a website, I would suggest using your pixel. So if you're using Hyped and Download Gates, this is where you'd go. You'd go to websites, and you can also create a custom audience from video views, where you can retarget people based off the percentage of the video that they watch. So if they watch over 50%, you can retarget them there. So let's say that we wanted to retarget people based on visiting our Hyped It page. You click website, then you click the appropriate pixel, and then you click all website visitors. And then from here, this is where you can choose a event. You can choose everyone who visited a download gate or visited a smart link or just viewed any of your pages at all or view content. So you really could play around with this and choose what you actually want to create a custom audience for. But for our purpose, we want to target the most amount of people. So I recommend choosing either page views or view content. And then from there, you can hover over the eye next to retention, and it tells you can choose up to 180 days. And then you name your target audience, and then you click create. You can refine this even more if you wanted to and choose that you want people who've actually been to a specific page on your website. So you can choose any of these. You can choose contain, does not contain, equals. So you can get very specific with this. And then you just select create audience. From there, you can either create an ad immediately, create another custom audience, or create a lookalike audience. And then you can see right here that it says pending. So what it's doing is it's looking for all the data that I've collected. And then in a couple of minutes, it's gonna give me an actual number. And that's it. You just create a custom audience there. So to use a custom audience in your ad, it's going to be on the ad set level. Again, you just come here and you click custom audience, and then you can see it right here, website retargeting 180 days. And that's it. That's how you use your custom audience. Again, when you're using custom audiences, you want to be as broad as possible. So you don't want any gender, you don't want any age. So I would put this as wide as possible. So you don't want any interest, so I'd want to remove all of this, because when you're retargeting a specific audience. And if you add anything in the targeting, it will narrow your retargeting audience down by a lot. So you want to keep it as broad as possible. And that's it. So that's how you use custom audiences. And the only other thing that I would say is, if you want to become a local celebrity in your space, what you'd want to do is you just want to put something close by in your location, and then just keep targeting that location. And once you target that location, you'll collect all these data, and then you can retarget everyone in that location. So soon you'll hear all the people in your neighborhood say, oh my gosh, I've seen you online all the time. It's like you're a celebrity now. I see you everywhere. And that's a good sign. This really depends on how big the population is in your area. For example, somewhere like New York City, there's millions of people. Versus someone in the suburbs, there's only a couple thousand, 100,000 people. So if you want to be a local celebrity, you just target specifically in your area and then retarget specifically in your area. And then you will eventually become known, because everyone in your area will see your ad. All right, guys, so in this lesson, I'm gonna show you guys how to get a lot more streams on your Spotify by using advertising. What we're gonna be using a lot of is smart links. So the first thing you need to do is you need to go over to Hyped It or to ToneDen and create a smart link for your song. Now, once you create a smart link, then you'd wanna copy your smart link and use that link in your advertising. But let me show you how to properly set this up. So first, when you go to create a smart link, you have to go to share and go to smart link, then go to select. Then you enter the track source. So let me go and find a random song. Let's say this song. So we go back over to smart link, you enter the source code, click next. You select the genre, heck no. The title, you get to design the smart link. And this is the important part. So because we're trying to get Spotify streams, we're gonna add Spotify and remove everything else. And the reason we're moving everything is because we literally just want them to go to Spotify to listen to our song. So you want to have these checked, click save option, show add to playlist option, add fans to profile or to playlist. So this is important because when someone goes to your smart link, you want to give them the option to add your song to their playlist and also give them the option of following your profile. So you have to go to Spotify, go to your profile, go to the three dots by the plays and follows, you go to share, you go to copy artist link, then you go back over to Hyped It and then put your profile here. So this basically gives the fans the option of following you or following your profile or saving your track to their playlist. And then you also want to enter the track link. So I'm gonna just take any track link and just go to copy and put the actual track link here. And then when you go to next, there's gonna be an audio preview section. Because we are going to put the song in the actual ad, we're not gonna have an audio preview because once they click listen now on the Facebook ad, we want them to actually go over to Spotify to listen to the entire song. So we're not gonna put a preview. So next, this is where you put in your pixel, next, and create. So I'm not gonna create this because I actually have these created. But what you're going to do from there is now you have a smart link created. Now you can use this link. So while we're on this, I'm going to show you guys how to use download gates to get more follows and get more people to follow your playlist. So when you go to create a download gate, the steps are pretty much the same. But when you go to the gate steps, you're going to only add Spotify. Now in Spotify, this is where you click follow profile. You can make them save your track, and you can also, if you want to do a pre-save, you can do a pre-save to an unreleased track. You can make this skippable for fans if you choose to, but if your goal is to have them follow your playlist or to follow your profile, then I would not make it skippable. So this is where you add your Spotify profile. So when you are using download gates, if you want to get more followers on Spotify, you come and do this step. So you're going to be collecting emails and getting fans to follow you on Spotify. So you can also have them add the track to their library, and you can do that by just putting the track URL there. Now, if you wanted them to add a playlist, you can go to your playlist, go to three dots, share, copy link, and then go over here. So once they sign into Spotify once, it's gonna automatically do all of this. So this is a great way to get more followers and get more people to follow your playlist just by using download gates. So you use download gates to get more follows and playlist follows and also saves to your track. And then you use the smart links to get more saves on the tracks and plays on the song. So from here, you want to create an actual ad that you're going to use. So I have my old cover for my track Believe, and all I did was add listen here. I went to elements, typed in Spotify, and used the Spotify logo. So technically you're not supposed to use the Spotify logo, but they don't crack down on it. So a lot of artists are getting away with using it. So you can use it if you choose to use it. If you want to follow the rules, then you don't have to use it. But a lot of artists are using the Spotify logo and have seen a lot of success. So after you create your cover for your ad, you want to animate it. If you don't know how to animate it, again, you could just use simple apps that animate your images for you. Or you could go to Fiverr and hire someone for $5 to make you an animation for your ad. So you can see what I did. So I literally just used an app and animated the photo. So if you look closely, you can see the background moving. And that's really all you need, just slight touches. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Now, if you notice, my track is only 30 seconds long. So what you want to do is you want to trim your track to being 30-second long, put it at the most exciting part of the track. And again, this is where testing comes into part. You don't know exactly what part of the song is going to convert the highest. So you want to take different sections of your song, different 30-second section of your song, and test each one. So you're going to be creating multiple campaigns with different versions of your song, so you're able to look at the data and see which one is performing the best. So once you do create your ad, get an animated photo, put the Spotify logo on it, next thing you want to do is you want to actually create the ad. And I'm going to walk you guys through how to actually create an ad. So let's use mine for example. When it comes to Spotify, you want to only target Spotify countries. So how do you find Spotify countries? You just go to Google. You go to Google, type in Spotify country list, and you just click on the first link, and it has a list of all the countries. So all you do is copy. You go over to Ads Manager, go to Add Locations in Bulk. You press that button, select location type, countries, and then you just paste in everything. So, and then you just go back, copy, paste in everything. You just keep doing this. You could go to match location, see, and then you can save this list to use again. So you just save it, and then you can name it Spotify locations. So if you look at mine, I click browse, and you can see I have saved location, I have Spotify countries. So all I did is upload all of those locations into Spotify countries. So from there, depending on what age range you want to target, you just put that age range. But in the beginning, I recommend leaving it broad, because by leaving it broad, you can go and look back at the data and see what your target age range actually is. And you can also do the same, keep the gender broad, and then look at the data after you run the ad for a while. From there, you want to put manual placement and put only the Facebook and Instagram feed. Actually, you can leave on Instagram stories as well, because it's going to be a 30-second clip, and in the stories actually plays audio, and it's going to see the Spotify logo, so they'll know exactly what it's for. You can see where it says all devices. Majority of the time, people will listen to Spotify on their mobile phone, but in the beginning, again, you can test it and you can look at the data afterwards and you can make a decision. So what I realized from running ad campaigns for tons of artists is mobile is usually where I get majority of the streams. So if you have your pixel and your domain set up, your subdomain set up for Hyped It, you can use conversions. And then in conversions, this is where you're going to want to track depending on what you're going for. If you're going for smart links plays, if you're going for smart links plays, which is Spotify streams, or if you're going to downloads, you'd want to select your objective based on that. So you select the pixel, and then you again choose what you want. So if you're trying to get Spotify streams, you'll most likely click smart link clicks. Once you do this, this allows Facebook to optimize for smart link clicks, which means they're optimizing for streams. All right, so this is another example of when I was promoting my Spotify playlist. Again, it's a 30-second song and a moving background. So again, nothing crazy. But what I did was I used the caption and the headline to get people to click on the ad. So you can see here that I'm not able to edit the caption or the headline. That's because I posted it on my Facebook page and I ran ads to it from the back end of Facebook. And that's because I wanted to keep all the likes, comments, and shares. So on my Facebook page, you can see it right here. The first thing you need to do is the headline. The headline needs to clearly state what it is. So top 50 melodic and ethereal techno Spotify playlist. So when someone clicks listen now, they know exactly where it's gonna go. Now the cool thing is by promoting my playlist, the first song on my playlist is my song. So I'm getting a lot of traffic by promoting my playlist as well. And this is another reason why my track has hit the Spotify algorithm, because I'm promoting the song itself using smart links and I'm promoting the playlist, and both are driving to the first song, which is being my song. So from there, it's the captions. So the caption should clearly state the vibe of your song. So for my song in my playlist, I put peak hours, warehouse, and screaming crowds. So people know that the song on this playlist is high energy. So when they click it, they already know what to expect. Now, this is the exact method that I use to get my song on the Spotify algorithm. And if you see here, 22% of my streams came from the algorithm. I use a combination of ads and playlists to get picked up by the Spotify algorithm. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that in the public relations section, how to get on Spotify playlists and how to use those playlists to drive a ton of traffic to your song. So I'm going to see you guys over in the next video, and the next video is just going to be some quick tips about running ads. All right, so I want to go over some quick tips when it comes to advertising. There's going to be a lot of times when you are running ads and it doesn't seem to be working as good as you like, and you can fix that. There's only a few simple reasons why someone's ad doesn't work, and I'm gonna go over that right now. So you probably understand by now that advertising and marketing is layered in a funnel format. There's the top, middle, and the bottom. The top section is all about visibility. The middle section is all about capturing and nurturing leads, and the bottom is all about turning leads into customers or fans. Now, the reason there's a space in between these sections is because sometimes people fall out of the funnel depending on what part they're on. And to relate this to advertising, advertising is a funnel of its own. The ad campaign, there's different sections of the ad campaign. You have the ad set, which handles audience, schedule, and budget. You also have the ads, which is the creative aspect of it, and then the campaign level, which has the objective. So you can have a leakage in your funnel depending on what objective you pick. On the ad set level, your audience and interest is the most important part. If you're targeting and putting your ads in front of the wrong audience, it's just not gonna work. So you gotta make sure you're targeting the right people. And again, there's so many different targeting capabilities. There's age, there's gender, there's devices, there's platforms, and then you have the schedule. If you're running an ad at midnight and people are sleeping in the area that you're targeting at that time, then of course you're not gonna get the best conversion. And sometimes budget does play a big role in this as well. If you're only spending $5 a day, but the ad needs more budget to reach more people so they can collect more data to optimize itself, then you may have to put a little bit more budget in it. And then it brings you to the ad level. If your creative is boring and not catching someone's attention, it will perform bad. Also, if your caption is not appealing to the right audience, then it probably won't perform well. And then you have the headline. The headline is something that needs to be tested constantly. So in each level, there is something that can be optimized based off of performance. And the reason I want to go through this is because when it comes to running campaigns, it's all about testing and trying different variations of your ad. So if traffic isn't working, try video views. If video views isn't working, try engagement. It's all about testing. You can test on the campaign level, you could test on the ad set level, and you can test on the ad level. But by far, the most two important sections is the ad set level and the ad level. Because again, if you're creative, isn't grabbing someone's attention, then the chances of it working is not gonna be high. And then if your targeting is off, you're showing the wrong people your ad and your music, so it's probably not going to perform well as well. So the right way to run ads is always to test. You test different campaign objectives, you test different ad set, and you test different ads. Again, if you put the budget on the campaign level, it will take that budget and divide it between all the ad set. If you put the budget on the ad set level, it will take that budget and divide it on all the ads. So how do you find the winning ad set? Facebook normally does this for you with its algorithm. They already know what is working and not working. It's up to us to look at the data and turn off what's not working. So when you are running ads, you want to run the same ads to multiple different ad sets. This way you can see what ad is performing the best with what ad set. And what you do is you turn off the ones that are performing bad and keep on the ones that's performing well. So if you have ads performing well in a specific ad set, but the ad set is too expensive, you're still gonna wanna turn off that ad set because it's just not getting you the result that you want. Now, if you have a lot of ads performing well in an ad set and the ad set is also performing well, then that means that artist that you are targeting is more than likely bringing you the best results. And majority of the times, you're gonna be getting the best results from places you don't expect it. I've ran ads so many times to artists that I thought will be the right artist, but it turned out another artist in a subgenre performed way better than the actual artist. So again, it's all about testing. Always have multiple ad sets targeting different interests, and then use the same different variation of creatives in each ad set. For example, you have your music that you cut up in 30 seconds, but at different parts of the song. You're gonna take those multiple parts and put them in each ad set. Then you'll be able to test and see which section of the 30-second clip is performing the best with which target audience. So running ads is really all about testing. On average, it takes about 30 to 50 times to get a winning campaign. So you just have to keep testing, keep optimizing, try different headlines, try different captions, try different sections of a song, just try different creatives, try different targeting. It's all about testing. And the more you test, the better you'll get over time at finding the right audience a lot faster. And then once you start building up your pixel is gonna be able to retarget or find people that looks just like the audience that are performing well. So I wanted to take this time and just go over this with you guys, because if your ad is not working, I don't want you to get discouraged. It just means that you're not testing enough. You just have to test more often, try different variations of ad sets, try different variations of the actual creative, and try different variations of the campaign. And then you will eventually find the right combination that will work for your market. And then you just keep doing it until you start seeing crazy good results. And everyone has a different way of measuring success. What I look for the most is my cost per result. As long as my cost per result is under 4 cents, then I'm happy. I can keep running that campaign. But the moment it gets expensive, which is over 3 cents, then that's when I decide to turn off the campaign. Because sometimes your click-through rate might be low, but you're still getting really good cost per result. So the metric I look at for my campaigns the most is a combination of a lot of these, but if I was to pick one thing, it would be cost per result. I want my cost per result to be as low as possible, and as soon as it moves over a specific threshold, that's when I go in and turn it off. So if you are doing campaign budget optimization, usually Facebook will turn it off for you automatically. They will just stop putting money into that ad set, which is the good part of campaign optimization. So whatever's not working, Facebook will stop putting money in that area and put that money into the areas that it sees is performing the best. Again, if you're new, I just highly recommend just starting with campaign budget optimization, because Facebook will take care of everything for you. What's up, guys? So this topic is all about data. Data is super critical to your success as an artist. Why? Because data tells you what's working and what's not working. Majority of the times when people run campaigns or they do any sort of marketing, they don't know what to properly look for. So in this module, in this lesson, I'm gonna walk you through exactly what to look for and how to optimize your campaigns. Because if you do not know how to optimize your campaign, then you're not gonna progress as fast as you could. This is really the difference between scaling at 10 times the speed versus 2 times the speed. So definitely take this serious and be obsessive with data. The numbers don't lie, and the numbers is what's going to excel you as an artist. So I'm gonna take you guys into my computer and show you guys exactly what to look for and show you guys one of the campaigns that I run and go over the data in the campaign so you can see what I look for and what you should look for when you are optimizing your campaigns. So let's go right into my computer and I'm gonna show you this right now. All right guys, so this is a campaign that I ran in the business manager. I filtered out so you're only seeing one. However, I have ran a lot of campaigns, but this one is a campaign that's performing pretty well. I'm gonna walk you guys through what numbers to look for, what numbers are important. So the first thing you'll notice is that I'm doing campaign budget optimization, which means that the budget of $10 is going to be split between all these campaigns. And Facebook is going to allocate the budget to whatever is performing the best. So if I'm running 2 ad set at the same time and Facebook sees that one ad set is outperforming the other, Facebook will take majority of that budget and allocate it to the ad set that's performing the best. As you can see, let's take these 2 ad sets right here. Say I ran a campaign for a day and a half, that's a $15 budget. You see Facebook put $10 into this campaign versus $5 into this campaign. And that's because Facebook saw that this campaign was performing better than this campaign. So Facebook allocated majority of the budget into this campaign. So when you go back to the campaign level, I got a result of 92 downloads. So 92 people actually downloaded my song out of 391 people who visited the page. This is pretty good. Now, you might think, oh, only 92 people downloaded your song. However, if I go to Hyped It, if I was to combine the 3 campaign, I collected over 170 emails. So for $42, I collected 170 emails and have 92 people actually executed the downloads. And basically what that looks like is if someone goes to the campaign, this is considered a visit. If they click download and give me their email, this is when it's considered a email capture. And then the next step of this would be I have them liking the song on Spotify and also adding it to their playlist and following me on Spotify. So if they do not complete the second step, they're not able to download the song. So only if they complete step 1 and 2 can they download the song. Some people only complete step 1, which is the email, which is why you see a email capture higher than a download. So for $42, collecting 170 emails and 92 people finished, actually executed the entire steps, that's pretty good. So it's 42 cents per download. 26,000 people actually saw the ad and 34,000 people the ad was placed on their feed. So a person seen the ad 1.3 times. So some people saw it more than one time. So the click-through rate is 1.67. A good click-through rate is anywhere from 1.5 to 3. If you have a 3 click-through rate, then that's amazing. If you got anything above 3, then that's crazy good. And you see I have a cost per click of 7 cents. Again, this is on the campaign level. If you go into the ad set level, it breaks it down even further. So this is the total of all the ad sets. On the campaign level, you can see that I ran a bunch of different campaigns to see which one would give me the best return And I also ran a bunch of different combinations of targeting. So right here I have Macioplex and Spotify, Solomon and Spotify, Beatport and Spotify, Macioplex and Beatport. So different combinations. So the most important data to look for when you're running your campaigns is cost per result, click-through rate, and cost per click. If these three numbers look good, the campaign, you can keep it running. So when it comes to deciding if you want to keep a campaign running or not, these are the three columns that I would look at and pay the most attention to. I want my cost per click to be as low as possible. As you see, 6 cents for this cost per click, which gave me a cost per download of 36 cents and gave me a result of 27 downloads. The cost per click was 22 cents for this one, which is obviously way too high for what I want. And the cost per result was 58 cents per download and only 7 results. So that's something I shut off immediately. And you can tell that it's not performing that well because of the click-through rate. The click-through rate is around a 1, which means that when people see the ad, they're not resonating with it. And when someone doesn't resonate with your ad, it could be many, many reasons. But the number one reason is I'm targeting the wrong audience. If I'm putting my ad in front of an audience that don't care about this content or my song, then it's gonna be a very low click-through rate. So when you're running ads, really it's all about finding the right audience. When you find the right audience, you'll see you'll have a high click-through rate. So 2.6, 27 downloads, that's amazing. If I go all the way to the bottom, this campaign right here, it's 1.72 click-through rate with a 6 cent cost per click and 39 downloads with a cost per download of 37 cents. That again is really good. So these two campaigns I will call a success because they're getting me a lot of results at a really cheap rate. So you have to pay attention to the cost per result, the cost per click, and the click-through rate. If all these numbers look good, that means you should keep the campaign running. And again, this is always a preference. If you have a super large budget and don't mind spending 9 cents or 22 cents or 38 cents per result, then by all means, keep it running. But I'm looking for the cheapest result as possible. So the lower my cost per click and cost per result, the better. So now if you go to the ad level, you can see which campaign actually works the best. So my Believe motion image had performed really well, and my Forbidden Truth canvas animation has performed really well. And when it comes to your ads, it's all about the creative. If the creative is good, then the campaign will catch a lot more people's attention, which means your click-through rate will be higher, which will then give you a lower cost per click. And if the interest is the right interest, should get you a low cost per result. So if we examine my campaigns, so you can see that this was something that stood out. So when someone sees this, it automatically pops. This means that as long as I'm targeting the right audience, the click-through rate should be really high. Now with this one, it's more of an underground vibe. So as long as I'm targeting the right audience, then this one should also have a low cost per result. Again, the two most important things when it comes to a creative or an advertising is the content and the headline. As long as these two are great and you're targeting the right interests, you should have a high conversion rate. The caption also helps, but people read the caption after they look at the headline and the content. So they go from headline, content to caption. The caption should then give them some emotional response to take action right away. And you can see that I'm painting a picture for them with my caption, peak hours, warehouse, driving melodic techno. So if I'm putting this in front of the right audience, they'll know exactly what they mean and they can envision themselves playing this. So when you are assessing a campaign, there's a couple of things you should look at. You should look at the cost per result, the cost per click, the click-through rate, and also the headline and the content. So I just want to show you guys what data you should look for when it comes to analyzing your ads. Now, in the next video, we're gonna go a lot deeper and analyze each campaign a little bit more. We're gonna also look at data from other platforms to see what would be the best places to put our advertising in as well. So I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, guys, so in this lesson, I'm gonna show you guys how to dive really deep into the data and just take your data analysis to the next level. And this is really what's gonna separate you from everyone else, because this is how you optimize so you can scale a lot faster. So I'm gonna take you guys back into Ads Manager and show you guys the same campaign, but we're just gonna go a lot deeper. So if you look at Ads Manager, you might be wondering, how come I have all these tabs and all these options up here? And that's because I customize my column. My column, I customize to show me everything that I need to look at to have an effective campaign. So if you want to copy my ad columns, this is it right here. You can look at the order I have it in and replicate it. So you can pause the video and do that right now if you choose to. All right, so if you don't want to have all those custom columns, Facebook have a preset already, and they have a couple of presets. If you want to use the presets only, the two most important presets that I would focus on is performance and click, and also video engagement. Video engagement shows you all the video view data, especially when it comes to retargeting. You'll know exactly how many people you'll be able to retarget if you were to run a retargeting campaign. And performance and click gives you a lot of data when it comes to cost per click, link clicks, and click-through rates. So if you notice, next to the column section, there's a breakdown. And in breakdown, you could break down by time, you can break down by delivery, you could break down by action. What we're gonna focus on is breakdown by delivery. You can see you can break everything down by age, gender, business location, country, impression, platform and devices, placement. The one we're gonna focus on the most is countries, platform and devices, and placement and devices. So let's go through this one by one. So if you go into country, it tells you based on all the ad set data, what country is giving you the most results. This is important because if one country such as Brazil is giving me the highest results, I might want to create a campaign specifically for Brazil. Or I can take the most highest performing locations and just target those locations. That's on the campaign level. If you go to the ad set level, you can see which countries are performing the best in each ad set. So again, when it comes to targeting, you can always pick the top 10, which you can see what I did. I found the top 10 locations that always performed the best, and I created a top 10 location and targeted those locations specifically. Or you could target all the locations and find the ones that are performing the best. So if you want this data, you'd have to target worldwide, which is why it's important to be very, very broad in the beginning when you are creating your ads, because you want to be able to collect as much data as possible from as wide of an audience as possible so you can narrow down later. So by doing an auto placement and also a worldwide location, you can see what locations are performing the best and giving you the highest returns. For example, this location, Egypt, gave me almost a 9% click-through rate, which is crazy, but I got no results, which means that they probably love the content and the creative, but the music wasn't for them. And here you have a 2% click-through rate, but a 1 result. So although Egypt may look better, Egypt's not giving me any results. So I would not target Egypt or put Egypt in my targeting when I go to optimize. So this is a location strategy. Another way you can find your locations is going to your artist for Spotify profile, and it tells you the top locations for your music. So where's all the fans listening to your music from? You can literally take all these locations, the top locations, top 20 or top 10 or top 20 locations, and put it in your ads manager to target these locations, because this is where your audience is. If you're more local or of a local person or want to become more known locally, you could just target your country specifically and figure out which city in the country or which state in the country likes your music the best and just target that state. This is how you become a celebrity in that area, because you're targeting an area specifically that really likes your music. The other place you can go to check is SoundCloud. With SoundCloud also gives you the top locations, the top cities and countries. This could be something else you can use in your ads to target the right audience. So this data provides me with so much information that tells me exactly where my fans are based. So it's only smart of me to target these countries. So I can take the top 10 or top 20 countries and target those places. Or if I just want to target the city of Moscow, I can just target Moscow. So you can use data from other platforms to help you with your advertising on Facebook. So that's when it comes to countries. You can also do a breakdown by platform and devices. Again, when it comes to platform and devices, you want to start off in auto placement so you can get all this data and then optimize later. Most of my results are coming from mobile devices. So Android, no desktops. Again, Android. So you can see that majority of my downloads are coming from mobile devices. Not really a lot from desktop. I have 2 from desktop right here, but majority of my downloads and results are coming from mobile devices. So it would only make sense for me to do a campaign where I'm only targeting mobile devices. Now you can go even deeper in that, and we head back to breakdown. We go to delivery and we go to placement and devices. So this breaks everything down by placement. So you can see that the newsfeed is literally the only place that's really provided me the best results. So I have 1 in-stream video, but it's mostly the feed, and 1 Instagram story. So knowing this, your Facebook story, newsfeed, in-stream, newsfeed. So by going through this, it tells me that I should only be putting my ads on the newsfeed and the stories, and also in-stream videos, because I am getting some results from in-stream videos. So if I was to put all this data together, I should target the newsfeed, the stories, and on mobile device only. So this is how you look at the data and optimize. which is why it's important to target broad in the beginning so you can collect this data and look at it so you can optimize. From there, you can also look at age and gender. This helps you with targeting the right age. So when you are broad, you can see what age group is actually downloading your music. So the age group that's downloading my music is mostly 35 to 44. I have some under 24 and some between 25 and 34. Majority of the people downloading my music is males. So that's another way I can optimize. I could target only males. So when I go to create my next campaign, I'll probably target only males, mobile devices, and on the feed as well as story. So this is how you look at the data to optimize. The last place I would check is Repost Exchange. So when you run a campaign on Repost Exchange gives you something called an average rating. This helps because if you have a very high rating for some of your songs, then it would probably be a good idea to run ads to that song. So I've been running ads to Believe mostly, but I'm looking at this and I see that Remember has 8.6. So the next time I create a campaign, I'm gonna create a campaign for Remember, targeting all the countries, the age groups, and the devices and the platforms that I discovered through doing this research. So if you really want to scale your growth, then this is something that you should highly consider doing, running campaigns on a very broad level and then optimizing based on the data, because this will help you scale so much faster. And I can tell you that 95% of the artists out there are not doing this. So by you doing this, it's gonna put you ahead of all of them. And it doesn't matter what genre you're in. You could do this for rap, you could do this for hip hop, for techno, for EDM, for country music. It doesn't matter. It's all based on who you're targeting. So make sure that you're always looking at the data and optimizing each campaign. Hey guys, so in this lesson, it's gonna be really short, but I really wanna emphasize the importance of focusing on your best music. So I'm gonna take you into my computer and go over some data and show you guys why it's important to focus on your best music. All right guys, so the last thing I wanna show you is how to tell if a song is performing well, and based on its performance, if it even makes sense for you to run ads to it. So naturally, you want to use the platform's algorithm to your advantage. The platforms push songs that is performing well. And when you see a platform pushing your song, this is a good indicator that you should be running ads to that song as well. If I was to look at my song's data within the last 28 days, you can see that my song Believe has 464 saves. So because it has so much saves, it would only make sense for me to focus on that song when it comes to running ads. Also, my song Remember has 218 saves. And then you have Fall Into Place. These are the 3 songs that it would make sense for me to focus my advertising on. So if you have a Spotify for artists with a bunch of songs, make sure you're looking at this data to see which one of your songs fans or people love the most, because the more saves you have, this is a really good indicator that this song will perform well to the masses or to a larger audience. Another thing you can look at is if you go to your profile on SoundCloud and look at all your songs. By the way, what I did was in my spotlight section, I created a playlist that had all my music in it. So if someone lands on my SoundCloud page, they can just binge listen to all of my songs. So I look at the data for my songs. You can see that my song Brave New Vision and Reflection has a lot of streams, and also Believe. So these would all be good songs for me to run ads to. And because these songs have so much listeners, that means the platform is pushing it. The platform pushes it, and there's people liking it and reposting it and sharing it. So if we scroll down to the actual songs, so obviously if I look at the data here, this should be a song that I should be running advertising to, which I'm not currently, so I'm gonna have to create an ad for that. And then Believe would be another song that I should run ads to because it has so much likes and also so much reposts. So you can use these platforms to show you which tracks are performing the best, so you know where to put your attention. You guys might want to run ads to all of your songs to get the numbers on all of them up, but really you should only be focused on the best performing songs, because the best performing song has social proof and it's going to drive tons more traffic to you as an artist rather than running ads to a song that's not so good. So always look at the data for your songs and run ads to the songs that are performing the best, because the songs that are performing the best will drive the most traffic to your artist profile and to all your other songs. People are going to skip right over you if you are promoting songs that are not so good. So again, you want to drive as much traffic to your profile as possible so people can discover you and become fans. So focus on your best performing songs. All right, guys, so I hope you saw the value of focusing on your best music, because really when you're trying to drive traffic to you as the artist, you really want to pay attention to what's working. By focusing on what's working, you're gonna drive tons more people to you. And when you drive more people to you, they're gonna wanna check out some of your other music. But if you are using songs that aren't performing well, then this person is gonna think that majority of your songs aren't as good. So you want to only focus on your songs that are performing well in the marketplace. Again, it's not about you, it's not about what you think, it's what everyone else thinks about your song. So if you think one of your songs is very amazing and that is the best, but the marketplace thinks otherwise, then that is something you should take into consideration, and maybe it won't be a good idea for you to push that song. Push the songs that are performing well. So if there's anything you took from this lesson, it's focus your efforts and your marketing on what's performing the best. It doesn't matter if this song has 100,000 streams while all your other songs have only 1,000 or 2,000 streams. The song has 100,000 streams for a reason. So use that to drive traffic to all your other accounts. So I hope this was helpful, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video.